Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and welcome to the English news of Bình Phước Radio Television Station and Newspaper. I'm with you with the latest news for today. Accepting a symbol of the solidarity and friendship between Vietnam and Cambodia. Ground broken for component project number 1 of the Gia Nghĩa Trân Thành Expressway. Top Vietnamese leader receives Secretary General of Mozambique's ruling party. Exhibition promotes tourism, cultural heritage, traditional handicrafts. On April 20th, Politburo member and head of the Party Central Committee's Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization, Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, led a delegation to visit the complex of monuments commemorating Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen's journey to seek ways to save his country from the Pol Pot genocide at area existing Lộc Tấn Khao Miêu, Lộc Ninh District, Bình Phước Province.
During the visit to the memorial site, in a joyful and heartfelt atmosphere imbued with comradeship and brotherhood, the central delegation warmly welcomed and held a working session with a delegation of leaders from the Bom Khmer province of Cambodia. At the site, delegates were briefed on achievements in border management and protection, as well as foreign affairs efforts carried out by the Bình Phước Provincial Border Guard Command. The Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization, Bình Phước Provincial Party Committee and the Border Guard Command presented gifts to the leaders of the Bom Khmer province and to Mr. Dương Văn Thân, a witness who directly met former Prime Minister Hun Sen in 1977. In turn, the delegation from the Bom Khmer province also offered warm and heartfelt gifts to the Central Vietnamese delegation. The memorial complex dedicated to Prime Minister Hun Sen's journey was inaugurated on June 20, 2021. The site commemorates the historic event on 20th June 1977 when Lieutenant Colonel Hun Sen, then commander of Region 21 in eastern Cambodia, now chairman of the Cambodian People's Party, together with his comrades, crossed the Cambodia-Vietnam border seeking support from Vietnam to overthrow the genocidal Pol Pot regime and restore peace to the land of Angkor Wat. The memorial not only holds profound political significance, but also stands as a testament to the pure international spirit of the Vietnamese party, state, and people in the support for the Cambodian people's struggle against genocide.
This morning, Bình Phước Provincial People's Committee held the groundbreaking ceremony for the component project number 1 of the Western North-South Expressway, the Gia Nghĩa Đắk Nông Province, Trân Thành Bình Phước Province section. The Gia Nghĩa Trân Thành section of the Western North-South Expressway project has a total investment capital of approximately 25,540 billion Vietnamese dong and is divided into 5 component projects. Aside to implement 3 component projects including number 1, number 3 and number 5, the People's Committee of Bình Phước Province has maximized the power of collective wisdom to implement the project. For component project number 1, the construction of the Gia Nghĩa Trân Thành section of the Western North-South Expressway is being implemented under a public-private partnership mode with a total length of approximately 124 kilometers, of which the section passing through Bình Phước Province is approximately 101 kilometers long with a total investment capital of over 19 trillion Vietnamese dong. The project is scheduled to begin in 2025 and be put into operation in 2027. Earlier on April 19, Bình Phước Province commenced construction on 2 component projects, number 3 and number 5, which involved the development of frontage roads, overpasses and compensation and resettlement support for the section passing through Bình Phước Province. The groundbreaking ceremonies for the component projects held on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification demonstrate the strong commitment of the party and the state to creating new development spaces. At the event, Bình Phước Province also announced the completion of the demolition movement, joining hands to eliminate temporary and dilapidated houses in Bình Phước by 2025, with the goals achieved ahead of the schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, Director of the Bình Phước Department of Industry and Trade, Vũ Ngọc Long, along with representatives from relevant agencies and units, attended an online conference announcing and implementing Decision Number 768, dated April 15, 2025, by the Prime Minister, approving adjustments to the National Power Development Plan for the period 2021 to 2030 with a vision to 2050. The conference was chaired by Minister of Industry and Trade, Nguyễn Hồng Diên.
According to the report presented at the conference, the Adjusted Power Development Plan for 2021-2030 aims to fully meet domestic electricity demand and support economic and social development goals. Peak capacity is projected to reach around 89,655 to 99,934 megawatts by 2030 and around 205,732 to 228,570 megawatts by 2050. Commercial electricity output is targeted at about 500.4 to 557.8 billion kilowatt hours. Vietnam will focus on maximizing the development of renewable energy sources, continuing to increase the share of renewables in the power generation mix. By 2030, 2 inter-regional centers for renewable energy industry and services are expected to be established. The estimated investment capital required for national power development during 2026-2030, including generation sources and transmission grids, is approximately $136.3 billion.
Ladies and gentlemen, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm hosted a reception at the Party Central Committee headquarters in Hanoi on April 20th for Secretary General of the ruling Mozambique Liberation Front Frelimo Party, Shakil Abubakar, who is on a working visit to Vietnam and attending the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification. The General Secretary emphasized that the participation of the Frelimo Party, along with friendly and fraternal parties from Africa, as well as from many regions around the world, is a great joy, support, and encouragement for the party, state, and people of Vietnam in these meaningful days. The Vietnamese party chief sent his regards and congratulations to Daniel Chapo, who was recently elected as president of Mozambique and chairman of Frelimo Party. Thanking Lâm for his warm reception, Abubakar affirmed that Vietnam is one of the priority partners in Mozambique's foreign policy, saying that this visit to Vietnam is expected to contribute to deepening and promoting the traditional relationship and good multifaceted cooperation between the two parties, two states, two governments, and people of the two countries. State President Lương Cường visited the President Ho Chi Minh relic site and offered incense in memory of President Ho Chi Minh at House 67 within the grounds of Presidential Palace on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification from April 30th, 1975 to 2025. In a solemn, emotional atmosphere, State President Cường pledged to continue striving together with the entire party and people to uphold the strength of great national unity and the aspiration for advancing the nation into a new era, the era of growth and prosperity. The state president affirmed that honoring President Ho Chi Minh's legacy under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam, the people of the South, along with the entire nation, fought bravely and achieved the historic great victory of spring 1975, liberating the South and reunifying the country. 50 years on, as the memory of war recedes, Vietnam stands firmly on the path of development, building a stronger, more prosperous nation, fulfilling the late leader's vision of a country that stands shoulder to shoulder with great powers on the 5 continents. Ladies and gentlemen, an exhibition showcasing tourism destinations, cultural heritage, scenic sports, and traditional handicrafts of Vietnam is taking place in Hue City from April 27 to May 1st. The exhibition is a prominent activity within the framework of Hue National Tourism Year 2025, aiming to honor and promote tangible and intangible cultural heritage, beautiful landscapes and images of the country and people of Vietnam to domestic and foreign tourists. The contents highlighted vividly at the exhibition include traveling to the cultural heritage sites and scenic landscapes of Vietnam, the ancient and modern capitals of Vietnam, the cultural heritage of Vietnam's ethnic groups, and the space, Vietnamese food, and the story of the Áo Dài, among others. That was 10 minutes of PVTV News. To watch the news again, you can download PVTV Go or visit our website and YouTube channel. Thanks for staying with us and see you next time.